If someone tells you CVD diamonds are better than HPHT, they are probably making money selling you one. There is a real financial incentive behind most of the advices you will find online about this. CVD costs less wholesale, so the margins are better, which means a lot of what you are reading is a sales speech wearing the blog post costume, really. In this video, I'm going to break down what HPHT and CVD actually are, why both methods even exist, what the myths are, and what you should actually be looking at when you are picking a lab diamond. Because at the end of this, you are going to realize the growth method matters way less than almost everyone tells you online. HPHT stands for high pressure, high temperature, and this is the original method for growing lab diamond. It goes back to the 1950s when chemists at the General Electric figured out how to crush a carbon under extreme pressure and heat to recreate what happens miles beneath the earth. This is the method that basically invented the entire lab diamond industry. Here's how it actually works. It started with the diamond seeds, which is thin slice of an existing diamond crystal, usually smaller than the grain of a rice. That seed is the foundation the new diamond grows on. It gets placed in the press along with the pure carbon, and then the chamber cranks up to the temperature over 2000 degrees Fahrenheit with a pressure around 1.5 million pounds per square inch. To put that into perspective, that's roughly the pressure you will feel at the bottom of Mariana Trench multiplied by 150. It's genuinely extreme. Under those conditions, carbon crystallizes around the seed and you end up with a rough diamond. The whole circle takes about a couple of weeks. What makes HPHT interesting from the buyer's perspective, these stones tend to come out with the excellent color right from the start. Top colored grades D and E without needing any post-growth treatment. That's a real advantage. The method is still the preferred one for growing fancy colored diamonds, yellow, bluish, pinks, greens, and so on, because you can control the condition to produce specific colors intentionally. Color lab diamonds are a whole different conversation of their own, and they are becoming real interesting alternative to traditional colorless stones. I have a separate video on this channel breaking down those. If you're curious, link in the description. The downside of HPHT is the production side. The pressure are massive, extreme, and they limit how large you can grow a colorless diamond reliably. That limitation is exactly what led to the next method. CVD stands for the Chemical Vapor Deposition, and it came along in the 1980s specifically to solve the problem HPHT couldn't. The process were too expensive to scale, the size of the colorless diamonds was capped, energy cost was enormous. Scientists needed a completely different approach. So instead of crashing carbon, CVD grows it. A diamond sits inside of the vacuum chamber. The chamber gets filled with a carbon-rich gas, usually methane or hydrogen, and then heated until that gas turns into the plasma. Carbon atoms rain down into the seeds layer by layer, until you have to finish rough diamond. No giant press, smaller machines, lower energy cost, and you can grow much larger colorless stones than HPHT can produce economically. The result of this process is the type A diamond. That's the purest category of the diamond that exists, the same category that only about 2% of the natural diamonds fall into. That's the thing CVD market tends to lean hardest on, and it's true. But here's what doesn't always get said. A lot of the CVD roughs comes out with a brownish and grayish tint and need to go through the HPHT treatment after growth to reach top color grades. So the line between the two methods is not as clear as it sounds. Here's where it gets interesting. Under the microscope, a natural diamond has a complex pattern that looks almost like a tree rings, because it grew over millions of years under shifting pressure and temperature. A CVD diamond grows in visible flat layers, one on top of the next, because it's built up atoms by atoms from the gas. An HPHT diamond grows in a clear geometrical cubic pattern because conditions in the chambers are controlled and consistent. That's how gemologists tell them apart, and it's also why you're about to hear the next myth. There is the stuff you'll read in basically every HPHT versus CVD article that I want to address directly because it doesn't match what I see in the real life. The big one, HPHT diamonds having a blue tint from the boron or visible metallic inclusion. Technically, yes, that can happen. In practice, at the quality level you actually buy for the engagement ring, it's extremely rare. We sold a lot of diamonds and this is just isn't something you see on the stone people actually taking home. It's one of those details that get copy-paste between the blocks until everyone assumes it's common issue. It isn't. The second one, you'll see people online warning that HPHT diamonds sometimes test as the moissanite on a diamond tester instead of the diamond. This does happen occasionally on an older test because of how the boron content interact with the probe. It's not a flaw of the stone itself. It's old technology meet new technology. Any modern test that read correctly, and more importantly, your IGI or a GIA certification is the actual proof of what you own, not a cheap diamond tester. The third myth that one method sparkles more than the other. That's not how the sparkle works at all. Sparkle comes from the cut of the stone, not from the method it's used to grow it. Two stones grow completely differently, cut to the same standard will spark identically. So which method is better? Neither really. Both produce real diamonds with the same chemical, the same hardness, the same sparkle. You cannot tell them apart with your eyes. Your partner won't either. At NinaVova, we design custom engagement ring and work with both HPHT and CVD stones every day. So here's what actually matters when you bind the stone. What actually determines whether your diamond looks incredible or underwhelming is the 4 C's: cut, clarity, color, and carat. And out of those 4, cut is the one that matters the most. It makes sense why color and clarity and carat dominates the conversation. Everybody wants the stone that looks white and clean, everybody wants it to be flawless, and everyone wants it to be as big as the budget allows them. Those are valid. But cut is what actually controls how the diamond performs. The fire, the brilliance, the way it catches the light across the room. A well-cut stone at the G color will look more alive than a poorly cut D color stone every single time. This becomes obvious when you're looking at the shapes like oval, the bow tie effect. That dark shadow that stretch across the center of an oval has nothing to do whether it's HPHT or CVD. It's entirely about the cut and proportion. A good oval has minimal bow tie. A poorly cut oval has a dark stripe you can't unseen. Same principle apply across every shape. Cut quality is doing most of the work that people credit to the color and clarity. I have a separate videos on this channel that goes deeper into all of this, a full breakdown of 4C, a video specifically on the bow tie effect, and others on what to actually look for when you're evaluating a diamond. If this video was helpful, those are the next one to watch. I'll link them below in the description. Here's the bottom line. Prioritize cut quality first, then balance the color and clarity to your budget. The method the diamond was grown with should be on the last thing you think about, not the first. If you want help finding the right diamond, HPHT, CVD, or you are not even sure yet, we offer a free consultation where we talk through what works for you, for your partner style, and your budget. No pressure, no commitment, we just help you get clarity. Link in the description below. And if this video clear up the confusion for you even a little, a like or subscribe genuinely help us keep making those guides. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.